Hello, Parsboro Community Radio listeners. Welcome to Exploring the Neighborhood with your hosts, Thor and Debbie, here on CICR 99.1 on your FM dial. We'd like to thank Kanza as the sponsor for our show.
For those of you who are not aware, Kanza is Cumberland County's only Careers Nova Scotia Centre and a vital participant in this area's road to prosperity. This year, Kanza is celebrating 15 years of serving the area and providing valuable employment and educational opportunities. Our goal for Exploring the Neighborhood is to take you on a series of half-hour adventures that include road trips, candid interviews, and commentaries.
We'll focus on the area's homegrown businesses, unique landmarks, and emerging talent. We're hoping to shine a well-deserved light on the local endeavors that promote eco-friendliness and self-sufficiency.
Cumberland Perfect Sleep.
Cumberland Perfect Sleep. And what is the name of this place?
The shop itself is the Joggins Arts and Crafts Emporium.
The Joggins Arts and Crafts Emporium.
Home of Cumberland Perfect Sleep.
Home of Cumberland Perfect Sleep. Don't go to their house, come here. And this is right on the main road of Joggins.
41 Main.
41 Main, which is what the 242 basically goes into. Yeah. Welcome to another Exploring the Neighborhood with Debbie and Thor, and we are here with Bridget in Joggins and Gary. Bridget and Gary.
Exactly.
Why do you make pillows?
Why do we make pillows? Because once upon a time, I used to play at a resort in the Cayman Islands. And from having played 5 hours a night, 6 days a week, I got frozen shoulder, which was extraordinarily painful. It used to wake me up every single night between approximately 2 and 3 in the morning, with pain shooting between my shoulder to my elbow. Nobody could fix me. I was fine in the daytime, it was just at nighttime it was excruciating. Pop 2 Tylenol, wait till it kicked in, literally sit up in bed, wait till it kicked in before I could lay down without pain. So this had gone on for a couple of years, still no help. I happened to be living in Ottawa, and I saw a chiropractor and Dr. Pauline at Arc of Life, who said, go get a buckwheat pillow. And I said, a pillow? I said, the pain's in my arm, not my head. And she said, yes, but you only have pain at night, so therefore you're impinging a nerve or something's happening that's causing this to take place. So the pillow, a buckwheat pillow, will force you to sleep straight and aligned and correctly, and hopefully you won't impinge this nerve. And being in excruciating pain all the time, I was like, where do I get one? So I found the lady in Ottawa, bought the pillow from her. First night I was on it, I did not wake up in pain anymore. And I was like that for a solid week, but I hated the pillow. I wanted my soft, feather 15-year-old pillow that I'd been on, dragging all over the world, and I wasn't happy I had to change, but I was cured after a week. After all, I didn't wake up. So I threw the buckwheat pillow in the closet, got out my feather pillow, woke up at 2 and 3 in the morning, pain shooting down my arm, tossed it in the garbage, been on the buckwheat ever since, and now I couldn't live without it. If we go to a hotel and God forbid we forget our own pillows home, we're ripping open those packages to sleep on them. Let me tell you.
And you have customers that echo your experience.
Thousands. It's unbelievable when we're doing shows. It's the coolest thing now because we've sold now for, I guess, 4 years. We have been making the pillows for 13 years, but we really pushed doing craft shows and that sort of thing, really the marketing in the last 4 years since we returned. And to be in front of a crowd of people, showing them how to use the pillow and describing, cannot compete at all with having satisfied customers who literally will break into the crowd and say, excuse me, can I just tell you all, this is the best pillow. This pillow has changed my life. I can't believe it. Or my daughter no longer has migraines. My mother no longer suffers from sciatica pain, numb, tingling hands and feet, back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain. Yeah. And so when people bust in just to tell other people about your pillow, and I'm always saying, I don't know her. I've never met her before. But yeah, it's incredible. Really incredible.
And you just picked Joggins because it's happening?
Well,
Home.
It's her home. She grew up here.
Yeah.
Cumberland County.
Yep.
It's just the place where you start doing business.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
I have so many experiences talking to people, and they go, I just started it, didn't know what I was doing, and it just took off. And this is Cumberland County.
Yep.
I don't hear that story in LA or Montreal or Toronto. You hear, I studied for 20 years to do this, I started it, and I went bankrupt.
I firmly believe, as far as opening a business, that the less you know, then the more likely you'll take chances, because you haven't proven to yourself through reading books and through all those other world experiences that you cannot do it, so you just presume you could.
So then how do you get the loan from the bank or the business development?
You don't go get one.
Yeah, we didn't go that way. We actually just kept reinvesting what we were making.
One pillow at a time, literally.
And what did you start with?
I mean, finances?
Yeah.
Basically my pension.
Honestly, though, he says that, but actually, when we came up, we had a savings that we had saved from down there to live on. And Gary took a draw on his pension to live on because he couldn't work for the first year and a half in Canada. So that was what, kept
We weren't married yet, so.
I started off with another job, and I was making pretty good money, and this was maybe the first 3 months of moving back to Canada. I was making pretty good money. We were completely fine. We redid a little bit of the house, all that sort of stuff. But I realized, oh my gosh, if I could sell this many pillows per day, I'd make more than this job that I'm working at. So I said to Gary, I'm quitting my job and I'm going to sell this many pillows per day. And there's nothing like needing a meal the next day to really motivate you. And I had so many people who had already bought the pillows who were on board. And by the time we came back from the Cayman Islands to Canada, so many people had known about our pillows and were waiting for us to come back so that they could buy more for their friends and family, for the cottage, yada, yada.
I think one of the problems with Cumberland County is it's probably too easy to get a meal here. And speaking of meals, I heard that somebody here is a really good cook and cooks Caribbean style.
That would be the Canadian.
It always is.
And he used to be a cook in restaurants all over the world, but he's...
Not all over the world, just in the
Okay,
States.
the
In
States,
Cayman,
yeah.
in the States and Cayman. But I used to cook, but I don't... Yeah.
Now he makes
Can of
corn on the
soup.
cob.
Can of soup.
Can of
No,
soup
he
with
doesn't corn on the cob, Caribbean style.
How about jerk?
No, I don't do no cooking anymore. I don't go around the kitchen, man.
Oh.
No. Once I stopped cooking for a living, that was it.
So the pillows are not the only thing you do. You've got this shop in Joggins.
Yes, we do. We have the shop. It's been quite a trip, actually, because we came about it, well, it's kind of by accident, simply because folks kept coming to our house to buy pillows and asking for other things to buy, and we had nothing else to sell. We needed a place to make pillows because it was too much for the house. So we bought this building and we were putting our things in here. And of course, we have the front room there. So we made that into a store. It's turned out quite well. I was quite surprised. Actually, it's Bridget's brainchild. I was totally adamant about not having it. Let's put it that way. But she...
Come on, Gary, jump in, take some credit.
Well, no, really, truly. Because I was like, let's just do the pillows and stuff like that, And... it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort, and I'm just not focused in that direction. But Bridget is totally gung-ho when it comes to these things, so it was cool.
Probably the short attention span I have. I need new challenges all the time.
Constantly, man. It's like, when it's finished, the next one has to come. Or, Anyway, that's...
But the shop is nice and it doesn't have huge amount of room, but yet you've got everything from hot sauce to soaps to arts and crafts and...
Well, we meet a lot of vendors,
clothes
right?
and
Top-end
pens.
vendors. That's the great part about it, because then we get quality goods, quality crafts, quality... just about everything.
The craft shows, I think I told you, we did 41 craft shows last year alone. And, they're all our friends now. Like we're this little group that goes away every weekend together. We don't camp. Well, actually, we are camping most of the time now, but...
So are all your items maritime?
Everything in the craft shop.
Everything in the craft shop.
100% made here.
The hot sauce, come on.
Maritime, yep, definitely.
Maritime hot sauce?
Yeah, his dad is from Turks and Caicos. I don't know, but
he's from Halifax, and his dad.
He learned it from his dad.
He learned it from his dad, and his dad was it Montreal that his dad was in?
He's currently
living, and so he does his own stuff down in Halifax.
I used to travel far and wide to get the real Barbados or Trinidad hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were in LA, I had an opportunity to film in a Jamaican restaurant, and
really?
the man who owned the restaurant made his own hot sauce. From then on, I drove to his place.
Isn't that something?
And we're talking driving, an hour and a half to get your hot sauce, but it was worth it.
That's how we feel. Well, that hot sauce, there are many places that make them, but that's our personal favorite, so naturally we're going to carry it, right? Yeah.
Like it.
And it's nice that we were able to incorporate a gift shop in here, because we definitely needed another building, because I think I mentioned to you before this started that literally our living room, the furniture was all pushed up to one wall. 35-pound feed bags, you saw the bags downstairs probably, 35-pound feed bags of buckwheat hulls with a tiny path going through to get upstairs to the bedrooms. And one night, it was nearing Christmas, and I said to Gary, because our whole house was just a manufacturing site, and I said to Gary, if we don't get this business out of our house, I'm going to divorce you. And it wasn't necessarily even his business or his fault, but I was just like, we couldn't take it anymore. We couldn't have friends over or anything. So we were really fortunate. You mentioned about why Cumberland County. This building we got for peanuts. I mean, look at it. It's all nicely redone, but it's in Joggins. There's not a lot of people moving here. It had been on the market for years. It's on a very small piece of property. So anybody that wants to say is moving here for the views or for a nice property to garden or for the kids, this isn't the property for them, but it was perfect for us.
Yeah.
So, and it was on Main Street, so yeah.
We have a property, as you might know, down
Up the road.
just up the road.
Yes.
And we are amazed with the amount of traffic that comes through that road.
Yeah.
Isn't it incredible?
Considering that there really is not much of a population here.
Yeah.
Besides a few beautiful stores and the fossil museum, there's not a whole heck of a lot to bring people here.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's neat is that, we were saying, like, we're on the Shuley Road, our actual house that we live in, that the amount of people, it's the drive, the weekend drive, the Sunday drive,
it's a scenic drive,
the collectible car drive, the motorcycle drive. Yeah.
I mean,
down through
when
that.
you get a little more into the summer, you're going to see just like lines and lines, just
unbelievable.
constant day after day.
What is the name of your pillow company?
Cumberland Perfect Sleep.
Cumberland Perfect Sleep. And what is the name of this place?
The shop itself is the Joggins Arts and Crafts Emporium.
The Joggins Arts and Crafts Emporium.
Home of Cumberland Perfect Sleep.
Home of Cumberland Perfect Sleep. Don't go to their house, come here. And this is right on the main road of Joggins.
41 Main.
41 Main, which is what the 242 basically goes into. Yeah. There's food just down the road. There's another place you can look at, and the
Brian
information's
Norris.
across the street.
Yeah.
Come on down, spend the week.
Exactly.
By the way, Bridget, what makes this pillow work? What makes it so special?
The reason the pillow works so well is because of the buckwheat hulls inside. You have millions of these tiny little buckwheat hulls that are about half the size of your baby fingernail. The farmer that we buy them from removes the seed and sells us the husk. Now they're all really dirty and full of bits of seed and straw and whatever by the time we get them. So we clean the buckwheat hulls after freezing them for 48 hours through what's called a fanning mill. So it's a 3-screen process just to get rid of any extraneous stuff so that we have really clean buckwheat hulls. Those little buckwheat hulls, once they've been cracked open for the seed to be removed, they're now rather claw-like. They're almost like a C. They're a ragged C. And what happens is when you set it up at night, so you're going to squeeze it to make it poofy, then you're going to burrow your head in the no motion. So you just say no. It doesn't matter if you sleep in your side back or your belly. As you burrow in, that buckwheat hull is going to come up and it's going to fill up your neck, but your head's going to burrow down. And we always tell people, look for the moment, that right there, when your neck is filled up and supported, but your head's back where it's meant to be, and your neck and spine align. The buckwheat hulls, the reason they work so well is because they lock into each other. They grab onto each other because they're so ragged that they stay in place. So that's why that works so well. We used to always use cotton muslin. A few years ago, saw bamboo on sale at Fabricville and thought, well, that's a very trendy cloth. We should try it. So I bought a couple of meters. It's extraordinarily expensive. We bought a couple of meters, sewed it into some pillows just for ourselves, and we're like, oh my God, this is amazing. It molded even better around your neck. It was much cooler to sleep on, and that was it. It took us about 6 months or so, but we flipped the whole company to bamboo, and it's, Bob's your uncle since then. It's been amazing. It's really good for us too, because now the whole pillow is completely, what's the word? It all breaks down. Yeah, it's environmentally friendly. Like, at the end of the day, a few years down the road, when all the buckwheat hull finally crushes down, which years later it will. We know some people have kept their buckwheat hull pillows for 20 years. We call that an emotional attachment. They don't really work anymore. But just, break it open, throw it in your garden. The bamboo is just going to biodegrade. Everything's good. So
You can't smoke it?
you can take a handful, and by all means, you just help yourself.
How would you clean them?
You topically clean it. So, for example, for us at shows, regularly kids are coming by with candy cane on their hands, or a woman will pick up the pillow and ram it right onto her face to see if it has any scent. 1% of the people who try to see if it has a scent usually says it has a light, nutty scent. And then the rest of the people just say there's no scent at all. But they'll stick it on their face and they plop it down, and now you've got candy cane. We regularly have mascara on our pillows and all that sort of thing, and just people touching them. And we just go get a warm bottle
These are just the demo pillows. No.
Yeah, oh yeah. Just the one pillow per show that we use to show people how they work. That's right. Good point, Gary. But just a bottle or a bowl of warm water, a drop of mild detergent. We usually just use shampoo, and swirl it around, wet a cloth, and just literally topically clean it all over. Now we have a friend, he swears by waiting for the hottest summer day and putting them through the dishwasher and then laying them out and flipping them constantly. The only concern we have with completely immersing it in water is you have a million tiny cup-like items, and we would worry bacteria would set in from the water before they were all completely dry. That's our only concern. But yeah, that's it. And because of the properties of the bamboo, they barely pick up any scent at all from the human body, unlike other bedclothes. It's kind of neat. And buckwheat hulls are hollow, so they're cool. So there's nothing to hold or retain heat. So air just flows through it all night long. Bamboo, same thing. It's a natural product. Air flows through it. That's why it stays cooler. But pests like bed bugs and what's the other big thing? Dust mites. That's what I was thinking of. They go to bedding because bedding is hot and moist. And that's where that's their environment. They like hot, moist bedding for that reason. Whereas these pillows stay cool and dry, they don't get dust mites and bed bugs. So people who have dust mite allergies, it's usually not an issue.
Yeah. Quite a few people who've suffered consistently over the years with allergies. Even though they're not even sure, they just say allergies, you know what I mean? But the minute that they use the pillow, it's like the next day they're waking up clear-headed, they're not suffering with allergies, and it's it's just been fantastic. There was a lady, I was doing a show in Moncton at Victoria Park, and she came with her daughter. Now her daughter, I would say, was in her mid to late 20s. And she was buying a pillow for her husband who was suffering with bad shoulders, and next he was a truck driver. And she said he couldn't sleep and was, just the whole thing was terrible for him. So she was getting him a pillow, but then she said she wanted to get one for her daughter because her daughter was suffering with allergies from the time she was a little kid, knee-high. So she buys the two pillows. And the next day, the first person back to our booth was this lady with her other daughter. She says her husband had the best sleep that night. He said for the first time he's had the comfortable sleep, woke up, no problems with his shoulders or, just really relaxed. But she says the best part of it was that for the first time she had seen her daughter wake up and not suffering with allergies and had a great day because, she wasn't suffering with all these different ailments, right?
That's the coolest thing.
These are the things we constantly hear from folks, and this is what makes it great because you don't feel like you're selling something just to sell.
You're not selling a line.
You know what I mean. It's like something that actually helps folks. Folks get relief from it. Like Bridget said, there are some that it doesn't help. However, that percentage is so minuscule. I don't think there's anything that really helps everybody. You know what I mean?
Some people just can't be helped.
It is true. I mean, they have to find another way of really dealing with their problems. Yeah.
We probably have a lot of listeners that are a little older, perhaps, and that can't come out to Joggins and buy these pillows. How would they get them? You do have a website.
So we have almost 30 retailers here in Atlantic Canada, all over the Maritimes and Newfoundland, and we ship constantly, daily. And also we do shows all the time. So We are a little behind on listing our shows on our website, but normally they're listed. We'll be in Lunenburg actually this weekend. And
But do you have direct sales from your website?
not direct sales per se. Actually, I was just talking to Cindy, our manufacturing manager downstairs a while ago, about how I've been putting off for about a year now. I've got to get the whole direct order thing, but in the meantime, literally people just call and order and we ship out right away.
Let me ship to them.
We try to do a 24-hour turnaround.
It's all the Canada Post, which we found to be the cheapest and the quickest, really.
And what form of payments do you accept?
If you're ordering just on the phone, it's credit cards, and then Visa, MasterCard.
And at your store, credit card, debit, cash?
Yeah.
No debit.
Yeah, just credit card and cash.
Just credit card and cash.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Leave that debit card at home, people.
Yes, exactly.
Come with a credit card or cash.
Yeah.
And you do music.
We do. So I'm a singer. I try to play guitar, and I've been trying to play guitar for 30 years or so. And Gary's a saxophone player, and we play at Duncan's every couple of Tuesdays. And
First and the third Tuesday of every month.
we practice 3 times a week roughly with our jazz/rock.
We've actually just found the time to put together a group, which we've been planning on doing, but
But we work every weekend.
yeah, and we just really got the time to do it. So yeah,
Life is busy,
it's
Yeah.
busy. Yeah,
but it's a good life, isn't it?
It
and
is.
and it's getting busier.
And one thing we realized too, from walking between here and the other house, is the number of tourists that stopped us and asked, where can we stay? And we're like, well, we got nothing. There's Advocate an hour down shore and back to Amherst. And there's a nice bed and breakfast in Napan, which always has no vacancy, almost always.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so we realized there was a niche there too. So we are opening a bed and breakfast soon. So
You are?
We are. So you can come and sleep on the pillows yourselves and
Where's this going to be?
just
Crab tree.
Yeah.
Crab apple.
Crab
tree. Crab apple.
Crab Apple Inn, 66 Main. So it's 2 buildings up the street.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Thanks.
Because I've had discussions with other people, and everybody says there's a couple of things missing in this area, and one of them was
B&B.
Yep,
They don't
absolutely.
just mean the liquor store that closed.
No, we're not going there.
I make my own beer. I already have plenty of customers.
We make our own wine now by force.
That's another conversation.
Somebody else can handle that one.
Yeah. Just that we're grateful for the support.
Oh, extremely, yes. Truly thankful. It has been a fantastic journey so far, actually.
Yep.
It's
Not just our customers, but the community.
Yeah, it's total support.
I think it's wonderful just to see that from literally nothing, businesses can grow in this area
Yeah, exactly.
and sell to the world, basically.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice you'd like to give people who are thinking about going into business for themselves?
Use all your social media, and I think if people love your product and you're selling lots of it, then you're on the right track. Greg Turner, who ran for years Turner's Christmas at the Coliseum, he had this wonderful statement: people vote with their money. If you're not selling your products, are you in the wrong niche? Are you not exposing them to the right market? I mean, just for us alone, we thought with Facebook and with all the craft shows that we do, there couldn't be anybody else out there that hadn't heard of our pillows. And I don't mean that vainly, but I just mean we're just so on their face all the time with our pillows, right? And then the Halifax Chronicle Herald happened to do a piece on us a few months ago. And it was unbelievable because it was just ringing off the hook, and they were all elderly people. It was the coolest thing. Everybody who called was an elderly person looking to buy pillows that had read the paper. And we realized, wow, we weren't even hitting all the
That's smart,
demographics we thought we were. Yeah, just get out there, put your body out there, go to the craft shows, try it out and see, and tweak, keep tweaking. We tweaked. The pillow was already very popular. But once we did the bamboo, then we realized, wow, now this is a superior product. Yeah, keep tweaking.
Are there any roadblocks that you've noticed or obstacles in the path?
Oh, yeah. You or me, you want to hit it?
Let's hit
my
it.
gosh, supply chain.
Yeah?
Oh my gosh. With the bamboo, it's like we ordered it. It was supposed to come at a certain time from China. We're now bringing it in from China directly because we couldn't find any more. We were like, bamboo, that's it. That's great. We're going to do bamboo from now on. And if we buy it volume through Fabricville, they give us enough a discount that we can make it affordable. Except we bought every stitch of bamboo from Fabricvilles all over Canada, basically. I literally was on the phone for days calling everybody in North America who sells cloth. Nobody had bamboo. I mean, talk about, here we were, yay, incredible bamboo buckwheat pillows. And we had nobody to sell us.
They bring in bamboo products, but no bamboo in bulk.
Bolts of cloth we couldn't buy.
Yeah, we couldn't get the bolts.
Yeah, so it was dreadful, because it's like, oh my gosh, and do we have to go back to muslin? I don't want to. It's not as good. I want a better product, That was really tough. And then trying to find the manufacturers in China we could trust. And we realized that we were almost scammed a couple of times. People wanted our money real quick, but it's like, yeah, could we see some websites and addresses, pictures of manufacturing, anything? Oh, no, sorry. And we realized that we were almost scammed a couple of times. But happily, we found a really good manufacturer, sent them $7,000 and actually got bamboo. But we literally got it maybe 4 days before we needed 500 pillows. Talk about working around the clock. And I mean, we were working around the clock, like 2 hours sleep and back at it again, trying to make pillows and get them out the door. And then the other thing is the buckwheat. Our farmer didn't count on us continuously growing the business. We kind of forgot the fact that he only has so many fields. So he ran out of buckwheat. So then we're scrambling trying to find other buckwheat. It's all a learning curve, but I guess don't give up, because boy, we could have.
Any regulations that you feel have hindered you, or?
No, not so far.
And local community, it's just been support.
Can't say enough.
Yeah, it is. It's been fantastic.
Best place to start a business.
Yeah. You start a business, come to Joggins. They'll support you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, incredible staff. Like all along, we've had incredible staff. Cindy, I mean, couldn't live without Cindy downstairs.
Yeah, she's like
she may have gone by now, I'm not sure, but yeah.
She's like the other person right
oh
in
my
between.
Gosh. It's when you have employees that have your back too. Like, it's awesome. Fabulous employees, great support system around Joggins here. Cheap buildings. We're happy. Being in Joggins, we're only half hour from sort of the center of the Maritimes there. When you think about having to go to Halifax for shows, or Northern New Brunswick or Prince Edward Island, we're very close to the highway that takes you to all of them. So really, we're kind of centrally located as far as our customer base.
Well, you echo our thoughts quite a lot, on a lot of points, actually. Mm-hmm. Well, I'd like to thank Bridget and Gary for taking the time out of their busy day.
I'd like to thank both of you.
Because they're on their way to Lunenburg, and they've got all kinds of things to do, and we interrupted them. But we thank them for their time.
We're happy for your interruption. This was a lot of fun.
Okay, time has run out. If you'd like to contact us, our email is scotiaheritageproductions@gmail.com.
When it comes to local business, arts, crafts, and entertainment, we'll try our best to provide a global perspective on our community and remind listeners that where one regularly chooses to spend their money is often much more powerful than the occasional vote at the ballot box.
So, help out your talented neighbors and enjoy the unique diversity of what Cumberland, Westmoreland has to offer. And ultimately, you'll be helping yourself. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
So, tune in next week for another episode of Exploring the Neighborhood with your hosts, Thor and Debbie, here on CICR 99.1 on your FM dial.